Thank you, Jim, Don, and Bill, if you're watching. I really appreciate this opportunity. So before we begin, I'm going to just jump right in. I want you guys to play with me for a moment. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to pretend it's April 14th, 2021. Now, what are you proud of having accomplished? And what does your life feel like for you? Now let's change a little bit. And what do you have guilt of not doing? So I'd like you to keep those in the back of your mind because we're going to come back to those. And now we're going to shift gears a little bit. So I want you to think about somebody who really inspires you. Say it's like an athlete, a football player, a singer, or maybe an inspirational speaker. And I want you to really think about what inspires you about them, the way they play, just whatever it is. And I want you to know that in order for them to get there, they needed to do and be committed to doing 4 different things. And these are, we're going to go into the 4 things that is going to keep us grounded during this time, and the 4 things that you can do to change your life. So the first thing is we need to gain clarity on the game we're playing in life, right? These inspiring people that you so admire and that you so look up to, they had to do 4 things, and they had to do is gain clarity. They had to gain clarity on what they wanted to do with their life, how they wanted to play the game of life. So right now, you are playing that game, and it's up to you whether it's the first half or the second half of your game. You ultimately get to decide what it is that you want to do, what plays you want to make, what you want your playbook to look like. And so we're all sitting here with so much time in our hands. I mean, I know we have to work, but some of us have less time because we have the kids, but some of us have more time. So what instead of, binging on Netflix and doing those other things that do keep us distracted, what if you looked at this as an opportunity of doing something instead of just watching and doing what you have always wanted to do? So I want you to take a deep breath with me. We're going to play again. I'm really big into visualizations, and I want you to visualize as we take focus off of what's going on right now, which is pretty fearful. And I want you to think of just one thing that you've always dreamed of doing. Maybe it was starting your own business to gain more freedom, make more money, have more choices. Maybe you want to lose weight so you can be more active, maybe playing more sports. And maybe you want to just work on yourself, your personal growth, so you track the love of your life. So what does that feel like for you? What is this, having this freedom, this peace, this new happiness feel like in your cells? So now if it feels right, and with your permission to yourself, give yourself that permission to do this one thing that you've always wanted to do. If you were gone tomorrow, what is that one thing? What is your core purpose that you wanted to do? Right now, you can either choose to play the game, or you can choose to stand in the sidelines and watch as others play their game and watch as yours just goes by right before your eyes. So in taking another breath, we'll go to number 2. And I'm sorry if there's any kids out there watching, but number 2 is tackling the daily mindfucks. Now, mindfucks are those things that keep you short, that keep you small, that constantly play in your mind every day, especially right now. They keep you from moving forward into visualizing, into taking action, into what you dream. And so I attended a conference with JT Fox, and he said something that really hit me hard. He said, we only have 50 good days a year. Can you imagine that? Like 50 good days. I want at least 300 days, not just 50. And so I refuse to have only 50 good days. So how can I tackle those gremlins in my head that keep showing up every day, especially now, especially when we're going out and seeing everybody with masks and, buying as much toilet paper and food and water as they can? What are we going to do about that? when that crosses your mind. So a thing that I use, I rewind that movie that constantly is playing in my head, and I change the story. So our pasts are like a movie. You know, we have the controller, we get to choose what we're watching. And so in having those limited beliefs, when those, I'm not going to say it again, when those gremlins come up, without judgments, you want to ask yourself where that fear and inadequacy is coming from. Because more than likely, if you stop to think back to that experience, you're a totally different person. You're not that person you were back then. You have everything that you need that's different. So you question everything. You're curious and you don't judge yourself. Now, you ask yourself, what opportunities have I had since then? How much personal growth have I done? How am I such an amazing and incredible different person than I was back then, right? You didn't know what you didn't know. Now you know what you know, and you have the power to move forward. And so in doing that, you think of things differently. You tell yourself a new story. You build new pathways in your brain. And I am a big fan of what I like to call, guys out there, manformations. And they help you realize what a badass you are. And so a manformation to me personally, you know, based off affirmations, is these inspiring sentences that you can use from going and feeling incapable to really standing in your power and feeling like you can do anything and taking action. And so some of the examples that I use, I'm gathering some manformations from some incredible soulful leaders right now that I will have on my website later. But some examples that I use are, I will not give up when things get hard. I refuse to live in my past. I am who I am creating right now. You're not your past. And then I refuse to come from a place of lack, and I live in abundance, and I will create more. So this is just a transition. Look at it as an opportunity. Now, another big one for me is jumping into number 3 is fueling the tank. So as a health and fitness coach as well, if you think of your competitive athletes or singers or inspirational speakers, they all eat the right foods to nourish their body, you know, so that they can go on years and years doing what they're passionate about and what they love. So I could sit here, you know, as a health coach and tell you everything you're not supposed to eat, but that's not what I do. I don't tell you that. Instead, I give you the steps you need and help you create new habits that crowd out the old ones. And so what I like to tell my clients is to add just one small little step every 2 weeks, because you got here in probably years. It's going to take a little bit to get to where you want to be. So here's what I mean. So, you know, you want to drink, say, an 8-ounce glass of water before your Coke or your cigarette or, you know, whatever breakfast you're having. You know, just one glass of water would hydrate you right in the morning, right before anything, and then you continue your day. And you can do that for 2 weeks and see how you feel. Another thing is you want to add a small salad to your dinner. No matter what you're eating, you get fuller faster, and then you eat less dinner. And imagine what that's like. You know, your belly's feeling better, you feel better overall. Another great thing is eating a smoothie, you know, or drinking a smoothie before your lunch. I mean, smoothies are in abundance anymore. Like, they sell them everywhere, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. Get a green smoothie that you really love and have that before your lunch. I am a big fan of nuts. And so what you can do is have, you know, a handful of nuts before a candy bar. And my favorite, because I have to have like a sugary treat after dinner. And so it's just having a piece of fruit before your sugary treat, you know, one night a week, just one night. With, you know, after that, you can have your chocolate cake or your donut or whatever it is. It's just crowding out those habits, you know, and eventually you'll have all of these new habits and you'll feel so great. You won't want to go back to the old way of living. So that is number 3. And then the last one is very important. And it's one of the most important things that you can do, especially now, is you want to take inspired action. And so without taking action, you're going to continue on those pathways to those limiting beliefs that keep you stuck, that tell you that you can't do it. And it's just this hamster wheel that keeps going. So how do you take inspired action? I know everyone's saying that's like, take action, take action. So here's what I do personally in my own life, which has really helped because it's helped me focus. You know, our brains aren't designed to work, you know, for 10 hours a day without breaks, without lunch, without anything like that. So what I do is you figure out one action that you want to do a day, Monday through Friday only. You got to have weekends off. And what you want to do is you create a 50-minute block. And what you do is you time it. So you time that for 50 minutes. You know, you have the timer in front of you, so it's ticking, and you know you have to get that done so that Facebook, Instagram, all the social media isn't distracting you to do it. And so, you know, you schedule it in your calendar, and then you be committed. You're committed to following through with that. So just one block. If you feel like you need more, do 4 to 5 blocks, which is what I do. And it really helps me keep focused. Now, I did the math, and I want you to know. So if you do just one action every day for 5 days a week, that's 20 actions a month. And that's 240 actions a year. So imagine versus doing nothing, imagine how much you could get done in that 50-minute block just once a day for 5 days. And then the 2 days you can just be free and binge on Netflix and do whatever you have to do. So you want to do that. Now we're going to go back to where we were at the beginning. And with what you know now, we're going to imagine it's April 2021 again. Now, what have you been proud of having accomplished a year from now? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? How is your heart so full and abundant of joy? And I want you to go to the opposite. What do you have guilt about not doing? So whatever it is, whatever this dream it is that you have, imagine not doing this for a year from now and how you're going to feel. And what is the cost of not doing that action? And what will you be sacrificing? So those are my messages for you today. So number one is overviewing. You want to get clarity. You want to learn to tackle those gremlins and figure out what your limiting beliefs are and start telling yourself a new story with manformations or affirmations. You want to fuel your tank by adding just one good health habit a week for 2 weeks. And then you want to take inspired action, doing one 50-minute block a day for a day, Monday through Friday, using a timer. So all of these things keep us grounded. They help us look forward to the future instead of wondering just what's going to happen next. So that is my 4 gifts to you guys. Now I can really quickly tell you how I can further inspire you guys out there. If you text the word manifest, MANIFEST, to 474747, you'll get a free guide on 3 ways to improve your performance in the bedroom naturally. And then you will also get an invitation to a workshop that I'm hosting on Hump Day, April 22nd at 6 p.m. EST. And that is how to stop dating the same woman in different bodies. So again, it's manifest, and it's 474747 to get that. So thank you so much. That's a wrap for me. I appreciate you, Jim, Dawn, and Bill, if you want to come back. And thank you guys so much for watching this today and for listening. I appreciate it.